What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
All sports.
With his size and his arm strength, certainly John Elway likes.
I believe JaMarcus Russell is the only franchise quarterback that I say you build your team around.
With the first pick,
JaMarcus, JaMarcus, Russell, Russell. My dream is to someday become a big-time star.
JaMarcus Trinell Russell, born August 9th, 1985. If you've seen the All-State Sugar Bowl in 2007 and for some reason it was the last game you ever watched, you'd call me a liar if I told you number 2 under center for LSU didn't become the next great quarterback and revolutionized the game for the next 10 to 15 years. He was that good in that game, and many feel it's the game that helped him land as the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. It's not like Russell hadn't heard similar things before in his years at LSU or in high school, being ranked 4th overall as a pro-style quarterback. But number 1 pick, now that's a different level. One that comes with a lot of expectations, especially in a sport like football where you're not always allowed time like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady to develop. JaMarcus was seen as a quarterback you can throw right into the fire, and no matter the situation, he could lead an NFL team. His bowl game performance solidified that, and the Oakland Raiders made him the number 1 pick. I remember that year and could still recall the hype leading up to the draft was all about JaMarcus. Physically, you could understand why. For a quarterback, he was the perfect mix of size, strength, enough speed, and an easy flick of the wrist passing style that got you out of your seat every time he went for a deep pass. He won a lot of games at LSU behind deep bombs, and by career's end, he was 3rd all-time at LSU with a 25-4 record and 2nd all-time in completion percentage and career touchdown passes. He seemed to have it all. He was 6'6" and built in the image of a leader on the outside, but inside he was still a kid, afraid and unsure really. It didn't help his confidence to come in and have possibly the worst 3 years to begin his career he could have, which made him believe the rumors that maybe he was becoming a bust, the biggest of all time. Once those thoughts began to happen, JaMarcus Russell was cooked, by himself really. Served up and sent on his way after just 3 seasons and a single team opportunity. He's thrown 18 touchdowns and 23 interceptions for his career with a 65.2 quarterback rating, completing 52% of his passes. Today, JaMarcus Russell is considered one of the biggest busts in sports history that made over $30 million in contract guarantees and now teaches high school football. He was as surefire as they come, but what happened? Let's talk about it. 3 reasons JaMarcus Russell's growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. JaMarcus Russell was a 6'6" quarterback from Mobile, Alabama that started and never missed a game in his high school career. He threw for at least 2,500 yards every season, and in his senior year, put up a record-breaking 3,332 passing yards and over 400 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns. In Alabama, he holds the record for total yards in a career at 10,774 and racked up offers from most of the top programs in the country, anywhere near the South. He chose LSU, where he become a star and complete night and day from his pro career. Stunt number 1, the holdout. Entering LSU, JaMarcus Russell had to prove himself worthy of being the starting quarterback. In football, things are a little different. For top programs, or any program for that matter, you don't get many games to prove yourself worthy of a coveted bowl game by the end of the season, or even a BCS championship berth like, let's say, basketball. College football is also one of the sacred pastimes of Americans as they tune in religiously to see their team play and compete. They pay whatever money just to be in the environment, and also a lot of sponsors and boosters are involved, not to mention whatever big money plays are happening behind the scenes. I say this to help you understand how important choosing a starting quarterback is for a college football program. Russell, after redshirting his freshman year, became a starter for 11 games in 2004, threw a number from 4 to 2, and led the team to a 10-2 record, throwing his first 3,000-yard season, 28 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. On came the very important Sugar Bowl berth in 2007, where Russell solidified himself as a player everyone thought was the best in the draft and potential game changer at quarterback on the next level. Football is also different when a team drafts a player. They don't have set contracts for picks like basketball that remain the same every year. When you draft a player, you still have to negotiate a contract with him because in football, injuries are more likely and a player can lose out on a chance at financial security at any moment, so they are allowed to be paid from day one. The Raiders ended up with the first pick in 2007 and selected JaMarcus Russell after former GM warned Al Davis not to take him, and so did head coach Lane Kiffin, who wanted Calvin Johnson. Russell and the Raiders couldn't negotiate a deal, and Russell decided to hold out until the deal could get done. This spawned bad blood within the organization, even Al Davis vowing to get some of the advance they paid back if Russell didn't show up. He missed the entire training camp, which could have been an important launchpad for Russell. He finally signed a deal after the first week of the season for 6 years, $68 million, $31.5 guaranteed. Because of the holdout, Josh McCown was named the starter, and Russell didn't get the start he wanted, didn't build good rapport with the fans, and got off to a horrible start, which would last for the rest of the season, even though short for JaMarcus. He was carted off the field after 4 games in a game against the San Diego Chargers, where it was his first career start. He was picked twice and lost a fumble and totaled just 224 yards. He finished the season with 4 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and 4 fumbles. His numbers across the board weren't promising, and fans began to lose hope in Russell. Had he not held out, he would have not put such a light and target on his back. Also, he would have had training camp, so could have worked with receivers and coaches to make sure he was ready. He even could have became a starter out the gate and just maybe avoid injury. Stunt number 2, work ethic. During his holdout, JaMarcus Russell reportedly did nothing. He reported to the team close to 300 pounds and wasn't at all in shape, which is why he may have gotten injured. Russell's work ethic had constantly been in question over his career, and it's even said he fell asleep during a pre-draft film session. At least he tried then, because one of the concerns about his work ethic in the NFL was him not wanting to watch film. Reportedly, they'd give Russell blank tapes to see if he watched them. Imagine that. "Hey, you understand everything that's on the film I gave you?" Yeah, coach, I got it all down. I stayed up late watching it too." He showed up annually overweight and behind on the playbook, and it showed on the field. He started 15 games in 2008 as the Raiders gave him a real shot at his job. He threw 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and 12 fumbles, 7 for loss. He followed that with a 3-touchdown, 11-interception season in 2009 in 12 games. The Raiders had enough and released him in 2010, and no other team would touch him. They paid him $3 million extra to basically stay away. He attempted a comeback in 2013 to no avail, as well as 2016. Yes, his skills were poor, but poor work ethic in football is a no-no. Stunt number 3, weak mentality.
It was bad, man. It was bad. Just to lose that many consecutive games, then you start to think like, damn, am I really that bad that they born?
The last thing you want your quarterback to have is a mind that can't motivate itself, block out the crowd, and on to the next play. And someone that breaks down from what you know he could do, but seems to get too nervous in games and can't carry that out. During his final season with the Raiders, fans would actually boo Russell, so much that he would question himself if he was good or not. He let that affect his play until he was unplayable on the field and a shell of who he was at LSU and projected to be. He started to eat his depression away and waddle in self-pity in his time away from the game, and even offered to play for free in 2013 if a team just gave him a chance. Even then, no team wanted him around. No one wants a loser, much less a soft one at quarterback. He turned to last hope for athletes John Lucas to help train and get him ready for a comeback, and even John Lucas severed ties because of Russell's work ethic and poor mentality as a leader with drive to improve. Safe to say, no one has ever considered him from then on, and his NFL career was over. 3 years, 1 team, that's it. All in all, no one should feel sorry for JaMarcus Russell. He was lazy and entitled from day one, and even on his last hope John Lucas sabbatical, he still didn't want to better himself. He made close to $40 million before tax for 3 years worth of work, if you want to call it that, and faded into football non-existence. Players in Oakland wouldn't even wear number 2 for years after Russell. He's easily a top 10 biggest bust of all time in any sport for reasons he could have controlled. Salute to Russell, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.